JT here from Real SoCal, sitting here with girls coordinator Andrew Montenegro and our club director Alberto Bru. This is part of our video cast that we're trying to launch to get information to our membership. The main purpose of this is to help people understand how we are going to operate this season. So first of all, thanks for joining us today. AB, talk a little bit about the new season.
Well, as everyone knows, the SCDSL season will start this Saturday, and we just want to give a quick outline of what we're expecting from our parents and what we're expecting from our coaches. Okay, so parent behavior on the sideline and parent protocol on the sideline, always a hot topic in youth sports. So at Real SoCal, we pride ourselves on trying to be the class of Southern California on this, and we want people to behave in the best manner that they possibly can. So referee interaction, we like to keep it positive. Referees are what they are. They're doing the best they can. And we found that most of the time, the referee decisions sort of weigh out, one for, one against, and we need to be positive. As far as cheering and coaching, why don't you address something about coaching?
Well, the coaching, when we refer to the coaching from the sidelines, we're talking about the instruction that we give kids. So from the coaches, we want the instruction to be positive. We want them to position players. We want the coach to be able to do that without any distractions. So that's where the parents come in on the other side of the field. And as for those of you who remember, in SCDSL, we sit next to both sidelines. Parents sit next to each other from both teams, so there can be a lot of distractions. And we want to avoid having anything distract the kids from doing what they want to do, which is focus on the game. So we want parents to avoid any form of instruction, any form of things like shoot, run, pass. Those are all actions that the kids have to make decisions on, and we want to provide them that opportunity without screaming at them. And then obviously interactions from parent to parent has to be positive.
Yeah, and I think that being a helpful parent is really what we're shooting for, and being a cheering, spirited sideline is really what we need, because that's what the kids need. Being spirited, cheering after they make a play, cheering after they shoot on goal, making sure that they're cheering together as a group. This gives the kids energy, and it's a positive atmosphere. So that is very important. And the number one thing is always be cool to the coach, the referee, and all the players on both teams, our team and the opponent.
JT, I remember you saying one time, so parents can understand the difference between coaching and cheering. Cheering is something, I think you described it as doing it after the play.
Yeah, after the play, cheering on a defensive play, cheering on an attacking play, cheering on a play that was an exciting play, cheering together instead of telling them what to do before. We want to avoid telling them what to do before. Okay?
So cheering is good. Trying to avoid coaching and trying to be positive with their interaction with everyone out there. So coaches will be out there, and as Andrew mentioned a little bit, that what people should expect, the expectations from our coaches. So our coaches need to make sure that they communicate where they're going to be. Many times our coaches are coming from another game, so they need to communicate that. Our coaches need to give respect to parents, referees. They need to model that respect. They need to model that positive behavior, because as we know, it starts with our coaches. If our coaches are not in a positive manner, it's very difficult for the players and for the parents. So our coaches need to model that positive behavior, as well as give instruction and have the team prepared for the game plan. Anything to add on the coaches?
I think just being positive to the referee is very important from the coach's side.
The one thing that's kind of been a little bit of a hot topic for me with some of my teams, because I coach 3 teams in the program, so often I'm coming to a game right at game time. So what has been a hot topic has been our warm-up. So just so parents understand, we want the warm-up to be something that prepares the kids, and we ask you to get there at a certain time, not because we're going to warm up for 45 minutes, but more because we want you to make sure you get there on time. Because sometimes people get lost, there's traffic, there's lots of things that can cause you to be late. So we want people to get there early enough, and then we want the kids to have a decent amount of time. Can you kind of describe to the parents what a little bit of appropriate time would be for them?
We don't want the preparation for the activity to be longer than the activity itself. So if you have a 30-minute half, you do not need to be warming up for an hour. And the factors that affect that is weather. Certainly if it's super hot, we want to limit the warm up. And also there's a valuable space. Depending on the space that prepares you for the game, we want to limit the warm up so the kids are actually prepared to play, and the warm up is a positive effect on them. So if a coach is not going to be there, they need to communicate to the parents who they entrust in warming up the kids and helping in game preparation, as some of our parents do have soccer expertise in helping prepare these kids. So that leads to certain things that are going to happen during the soccer season. It could be emotions that end up being heated, or situations that just don't go well. Teams are going to lose games. Players are going to play limited minutes. Coaches may make mistakes, or probably will make mistakes. Referees, I'm sure, will make mistakes. And it may not go as well as you planned. It's just not going to be a perfect world out there. And remember, we play in the most competitive league in Southern California. And, it's not going to go your way. So we've asked that parents have respect a 48-hour rule. So the 48-hour rule means that if there's an issue or a situation that shows up in a game, that the parents not contact the coach immediately after the game. Many times people are heated, they are emotional, and they're just not thinking straight. And that includes the coach. And if there's an important issue that needs to be solved, it will be solved much better 48 hours later in a quiet situation where both parties can, communicate properly to solve the issue. Okay? Anything?
The purpose of this, like AB described, is to make sure everyone has a calm mind. The goal for everybody, including the parents and all the coaches, is to benefit the kids. And sometimes we bring our adult ideas to the game, and we have to remind ourselves, these are young players, and our goal is to help all of them. So we have to make sure that we're in the proper state of mind whenever we talk about any topic that might be, let's just say, emotional.
Okay, and sometimes after 48 hours, reflecting on what may have felt the most important thing in the world, a day or two later has already been resolved, and we can just move on without any kind of conflict. I've never had any success with an on-field emotional conversation, but I've only been coaching 28 years, so maybe I have one soon. But I've had many conversations with level-headed parents that were beneficial for the team, myself, and of course the player.
Okay, so 48 hours before we contact the coach. Done. As far as for next season, we have new age groups, we have new field sizes, we have a lot of new rules. So can you talk a little bit about the new rules?
Yeah, as usual in Cal South, change. So the new rules, the most important one that we have is there is no heading in competition for the 06, 07, 08s, and 09s. No heading in competition. If there is heading, the referees have been instructed to blow the whistle, and it is a free kick for the opposing team. So if there is heading, it will be registered as a foul. It's not classified as a foul, but the referees will blow the whistle. There is no heading in those age groups. The other changes is the field size. There is no longer 8 versus 8. There is 7v7 and 9v9. And with that comes different sizes of fields, different sizes of goals. Not every club has the resource for the quality size of field. So this year we will be playing on completely different sizes of fields, sometimes appropriate and sometimes not appropriate. The other rule change that we have that goes along with the no heading is SCDSL has no punting. That is not everywhere, only in SCDSL. SCDSL in those age groups has added no punting from the goalkeepers. So will be a build-out line. Can you talk a little about the build-out line?
So the build-out line is where the players can start when the goalkeeper has it in their hands. So there's no goal kicks anymore for 7v7 and below.
And 9v9.
So on goal kicks, they'll be using futsal rules. So the goalie can have the ball with their hands, the goalie can distribute the ball with their hands, or the goalie can put it on the ground and use their feet. But there's no goal kick.
Okay, and that's for SCDSL, a build-out line where the defenders have to get behind the line Once the goalie releases the ball, they can play. No punts, no heading, and no goal kicks. Futsal re-entry into the goalkeeper's hands.
And that's 2006 and below.
Correct.
Okay. And as far as restarts, that's just they dribble on with their feet, or they can use their hands.
The goalkeeper, no, to the goalkeeper's hands. The goalkeeper can drop the ball or can distribute it, and off we go.
Okay.
The last thing, we just wanted to thank all the parents at Real SoCal. It's not easy being a soccer parent. I have to be a soccer parent at Real SoCal, and sometimes have to drive to games, get up early, sit on the sidelines, all those things. Respect the coach's decisions, respect the referee's decisions, and these things are not easy, and we really appreciate the support. We feel that our parents do a tremendous job here following our protocols, and we are excited for the new season and hope that this little bit of information helps everyone have a more productive and quality season.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys.